Probably one of the most anticipated airsoft rifles of the year, the Battle Arms Development 5.56LW and SBR takes the otherwise, to some, dated AR-15 platform to a whole new level. And if you thought these rather cryptic names were just some schoolboys doodling in the newspaper, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be wrong. Because the 5.56LW actually stands for lightweight. You see, the real Battle Arms Development 5.56LW is probably one of the lightest AR-15s in the world, thanks to highly engineered CNC construction and carbon fiber technology. The stylish geometric designs of the receiver also mean significant weight reduction while keeping things quite handsome and tidy. The shorter but no less good-looking brother that we have here is denoted the SBR, or short barrel rifle, because, well, it's got a shorter barrel and it's more for urban application. In fact, I am told that the Beverly Hills Police Department's VIP protection unit has adopted this particular SBR for field service. Now, the SBR nomenclature, to some may be unfamiliar with it. There's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of it has to do with the United States gun laws, which at times are a bit funky. Some may even consider this gun to be just nothing but a straight up PDW, because it does have a PDW stock. So for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm just going to refer to it as the SBR. Sometimes I may say PDW in this video, just bear with me. What's worth mentioning is that the design of the Battle Arms Development 5.56 rifle, which I'm just going to call b.a.d. 5.56 from now on, is so striking that it inspired many copycats in the past several years, both in real steel and in airsoft. But in my opinion, nothing quite matches the real thing when you just see how good it looks and everything looks right on this gun. Because if you're a car maker, you just can't copy bits and pieces from a Ferrari and expect it to look just as good. Because if you knew any better and you could afford it, you'd buy the real thing. So where did Battle Arms Development come from? Well, it's definitely the brainchild of Mr. George Huang, an American man and a hardcore engineer right here at heart. George spent many years leading large engineering projects for theme parks such as Disney, and he worked in the casino space for many years in Las Vegas before jumping headfirst into the firearms industry, because he sought opportunity to improve upon things that seemed to be already set in stone. As an avid shooter, George sought to improve and modernize the AR-15 platform, and taking, well, a different approach. A lot of times we think of these firearms companies and CEOs and engineers as these hardcore elite soldiers that just goes out into some of the most hair-raising operations just to take the gun that they had back to civilization and convert it and sell it, or to market it or promote it as, you know, the tool that got them through. But if you think about it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. What I'm saying is I'm not trying to belittle or minimize the input or what our elite soldiers actually do overseas for us. All I'm saying is fighters are great at fighting, and engineers, they're great at engineering. It's like saying you can't take a scientist and throw him in a conflict, and you take an elite soldier and try to have him be an engineer. These things may not fit. And that's the example I'm trying to give. As Battle Arms Development, they don't market themselves as some elite special operations guys, but rather they take a scientific approach. They wear white lab coats during SHOT Show to show that, hey, we're engineers, guys. We're here to engineer cool products. So as scientists, what do they aim to do? They aim to make the best AR-15 that they possibly can with their whole catalog of products that they have made. So it's an in-house gun, and my God, thank God they did. b.a.d has been in much of the spotlight at US firearms shows for the past several years, and today I bring you the gas blowback version of this extremely handsome duo from RWA. Battle Arms Development is a premium AR-15 upgrade parts manufacturer that comes up with innovative and unique solutions that make really cool parts for things you may otherwise not think of. Think about it like this. They have patent pending on a unique set of takedown pins. That's attention to some detail. Several years ago, b.a.d came out with their own rifle, and it's got everyone in the firearms world buzzing with excitement. So RWA partnered with b.a.d to produce these guns for the airsoft world, and I'm gonna have to say they look and feel really impressive and spot on. So let me get one thing out of the way right up front, and I'm gonna say this. These two guns are gonna be produced in very limited quantity with a price tag that's not gonna be faint of heart. So there is that. But on to more positive stuff. Both guns are also going to be running off of the Tokyo Marui MWS system. And those of you familiar with it, you're gonna know that it's great performing, very gas efficient. It works with the same Tokyo Marui MWS magazine, so if you're already vested in that system, you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of extra mags. An added bonus is all the aftermarket parts support. So if you want to purchase one of these and really take it all the way to whatever upgraded lengths that you would like to do, you are more than welcome to do so, because these two are going to be absolutely compatible with those TM aftermarket parts. On the other hand though, yes, while the MWS system is a great system, those of you who are looking for a little bit more realism might be slightly disappointed, as field stripping these guns are gonna leave you a little bit underwhelmed, as you're not gonna get the same experience field stripping like you would get from, say, like a VFC or a GHK. Let's keep it real, right? If you are fielding a b.a.d rifle, it's kind of like you walking down the street with Scarlett Johansson hanging off your arm. As much as you want to tell all your friends how nice of a person she is or how great her acting is in, I don't know, an educated kind of way, nobody really wants to know or is interested. Everybody just so amazed at how good she looked. Every straight man is gonna be like, wow, just look at these guns. There is a sense of artistic beauty and balance to how these lines are cut into both of these guns' receivers, which also make these airsoft versions extremely lightweight. Another design anomaly that some of you may notice is they don't feature a forward assist. Now, the forward assist was designed in real steel firearms to return your bolt carrier all the way forward into battery after using it, and that's especially needed when you're working in sandy or dirty environments. But these guns, well, according to b.a.d, are so finely and precise machined that they no longer needed that particular feature. And in airsoft, well, the forward assist was more or less a vanity item anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Taking a closer look, the receiver is in billet style, as the real steel receivers are also billet. As this is a fully licensed product, you will find all the correct and corresponding markings on the gun. Painstaking lengths were taken to ensure that everything was true to form as the real deal, so much so that some parts were even sent over back to the US for b.a.d to check. That's some serious business. I mean, look at these pins. Who spends so much time on pins? They're like buttons on an expensive shirt. Man. Honestly, the first time I seen this, I'm like, this is some serious business. After b.a.d checked out all the parts and build quality of the GBBR, they liked it so much that they converted one of our GBB SBRs into one of these. This is the SBR Tanker from b.a.d. They built this gun. The Tanker SBR is heavily modified and custom made by b.a.d themselves in their headquarters in Nevada to look exactly like the real steel one. Unfortunately, this one here is a one-off build, and there are no plans to make any version of this available to the public. But, that's a big but, what you can do is you can contact RWA to get this custom build done for you as a private arrangement. Anyways, for the rest of the review, I'm only going to be referring to the 5.56LW, as both the SBR and the Tankers share all the same controls and features from this point forward. So sadly, I'm going to have to remove these two guys. Sorry. RWA has paid a lot of attention to detail and features the badass or ambidextrous selector switches. You'll notice that one side is larger and sports a bigger selector surface. That is because one of the initial problems they decided to solve was previous selectors were the same length, and which caused it to dig into your knuckle on the hand's opposite side. So they shortened that one side and kept the surface where you place your finger just as large to ensure positive contact. We take these things for granted now, but it's good to know the story behind all of it. Its bolt catch is similarly thought out, as it's now a lightweight piece with a cutout in the middle. It also features subtle serrations on the top and bottom, which helps prevent your thumb from slipping when you're operating it without gloves. And finally, we come to the pistol grip. The pistol grip is a multi-angle adjustable grip, just like what you see on the real steel firearm. So 3 different positions. What does this mean? It means you can adjust it to the angle to which you like, giving you a little bit more comfort and shootability to however you desire, of course. Personally, I really love this. It allows me to straighten out the grip angle, which in turn makes my shooting feel more natural. When I was running the gun earlier, I felt that it just caused less strain on my wrists, even when I was holding it one-handed. And now to my favorite part, which is the rear stock. It's called the Firt Stock. And while it suits the profile of many PDW style stocks, it is, in my humble opinion, far superior to many of these so-called enhanced stocks on the market today. My biggest gripe when it comes to these stocks, no matter if it be AEG or GBB, has always been one of 2 things, if not both. Either 1, the butt pad has never been able to give you enough shoulder support, or 2, you just couldn't get enough cheek on it. The Firt fixes both. This is classic b.a.d fixing an existing issue. The pad here is perfect size while still maintaining its compact form factor. And when you extend the stock, the faux carbon fiber piece here is just long enough to provide you enough coverage for you to properly cheek the rifle. It is a 5-position adjustable stock, so you can adjust it to wherever you want simply by pressing the button on the bottom here. And there's even a nifty little QD sling mount right here on the bottom of the butt pad. Remember how I said b.a.d rifle designs inspired many copycats? You might recognize this stock on many other airsoft guns out there, but let me remind you, nothing beats the original that we got here. Moving towards the forward portion of the rifle uses the Fortis switch rail. Fortis Manufacturing is another high-end producer of AR-15 parts and accessories in the US. Their design and products meld perfectly with this b.a.d rifle. The switch rail is, like its receiver sets, ultra lightweight, and I would wager to say it's probably going to be one of the lightest rails that you will pick up. The switch also fits well with the engineering philosophy of the gun. As its namesake, switch, the rail features a switch right here on the bottom, which you pull down and you can detach the whole rail from the gun simply by doing that, keeping all of your accessories in place. What an innovative concept. As a cherry on top, here is the Fortis 556 muzzle brake. Inspired by the sharp lines found in the Fortis design, this 2-chamber brake eliminates muzzle rise, and in airsoft, it just looks so amazing. There are many brakes or flash hiders out there, but this one is in a league of its own. Upon closer inspection, you can see how its chambers are designed to direct gases to the outside, and it features engraved Fortis logos on each side. So before all the fun stuff where we go shoot the gun, let's play our favorite game, Find the Hop-Up. If you guessed the hop-ups right here in the chamber, you would be correct. So how to access that hop-up? First, you eject the magazine, you pull that charging handle back, hold the bolt open with the bolt lock, and you can find the hop-up right there. Now, it's even red, so it's easy for us to find. And we're 0.2 gram BBs and green gas. The SBR is using the same green gas and 0.2 gram BBs. Now it's time to shoot the guns. I've also brought the SBR down with me, so we're gonna be laying waste to poor old Quake's face down there. We're gonna start with the long boy. The trigger is really clean. There is pretty much no travel at all. The moment you put your finger on that trigger, it is right at the break point. The bolt cycle is extremely fast as well. I really like the impulse you get. It definitely kicks much harder than any stock MWS, that's for sure. And it is a light gun. Even with the scope on, This is a pretty heavy scope. It's one of our RWA ones. Compared to how this gun sits, I can shoot this all day. Let me give it a double tap. And the bolt locks back. Let's take a look at those results. So from what we can see, the gun is definitely a shooter. You can see how close some of these groups actually are, with several landing right smack bang in the middle. There, of course, were a few that landed outside the target. Like all things shooting, you gotta get used to your holdover, but the moment you are able to get used to where your scope aligns, bam, right there. Now let's shoot the short boy. Now for my personal favorite, the short boy, the SBR. Just like the 5.56 LW, this thing breaks really clean. And with its shorter form factor, and because you have to hold it so close, the recoil impulse almost feels even stronger. I really like it. I really do like this smaller gun. Bolt locks back. Let's take a look at those results. All right, the accuracy is still very good for a gun with a slightly shorter barrel. Just look at how good this grouping was over here and even down here. Yes, there was a bit of variation, once again, due to the fact that I need to know where my holdover was. But again, just look at it. It speaks for itself. So if you want to watch other cool RWA videos that we've done, you can check out Tim's review of the Lee Enfield in the card above. Or alternatively, you can watch the review I did a long time ago of the stainless steel GRP. Fun videos, check them out. All right, back to these guys. These are really truly stylish and sharp looking rifles. And I have always loved GBBRs. And I have to say that these rifles from RWA really didn't disappoint. And I'm not saying that as a homer, because you're getting a very good snappy system with the MWS internals, and not to mention all the extra upgrade potentials. It shoots great, breaks great. It's also really clean and crisp on just every facet of this gun. I really enjoy it, and I think it's worth the price. My heart though is with the SBR. There's something about this shorter gun that I really enjoy. It packs just the same punch in a smaller package. There's something about it, it just grips me inside. You know that feeling you get when you just find the right one? There are downsides though. Number one, being the fact that there's only 150 of these guns going to be produced, you're gonna have to try to get your hands on one as soon as you possibly can because, well, the title says it, limited edition. Which leads me into my second point, the price. It's not for the faint of heart, like I said, but if you kind of think about it, you take a stock MWS, then you have to upgrade it with all the cool internals and externals that you have here, like the steel internals and a cool upper and lower receiver, a cool looking rail, a cool looking stock, flash hider, pistol grip, all of this extra stuff put together. You may end up paying the same price, if not a little bit more, depending on what you get, which I feel like I'm now defeating my own point here, but that's neither here nor there. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Would you want to pick up one of these if you had the opportunity to? I want to know all of your thoughts. So, if you want cool guns like this though, and many more, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Have a good one.